Yo, what is going on, CoD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and today it's an exciting day. I got 3 upcoming videos for you from our PvP questionnaire where we talked about heroes for pairings and tier lists, same for artifacts and same for war pets. We're going to break those up across the next couple days. Today we're going to focus on the hero pairings and tier list, at least up into the top 10 heroes. We'll talk about pairs, reasonings, and then at the end of everything, once I finish with the 3rd video, I will release the analytics, so that way anyone who wants to view those publicly, you'll be able to access those as well, and I'll end up talking about that in the 3rd video, but most likely I'll just put a link, probably in the data stats, somewhere around here, probably for like a temporary, but that'll also allow for you to read through some of the reasonings and explanations on why players are running what they're running. And so yeah, I'm really excited about this. And then also, last note, and I'll kind of switch over now, is that next time we do this, I'm actually putting together, and I already alluded to this before, but I'm putting together kind of a private Discord, private group on my Discord, basically for the top players that have Discord, so that way the next time we do this around, I'll be able to reach out to, you know, the top 200, top 300 fighters, strongest players in the game that again have Discord. So because as I'm going through it now, it's interesting. It's like half and half so far when I've reached out to like the top 30 players. So it's interesting. Anyways, let's go ahead and continue here, right? So we have starting with number 1. We have who is the first hero? Who's the hero that you want to level up first? Overwhelmingly, right, we ended up getting 27 responses here. Now, bear in mind, the form is a little bit longer, even though it doesn't take as long because it's mainly just you clicking, right? So for like those of you that are curious, if I go into, actually here, we'll do this, right? If I go to questions, just to kind of give you a quick overview, is that if you go here, right, you're basically, I ended up listing out all the legendaries in alphabetical order, epics, right? So you're just kind of listing out, it's just clicking, right, at that point, with one kind of long form question that we have. But okay, so we have who's the first hero that you think you should level? Lilia. And we're going to keep track of this too as well. So watch, we'll do it like this. Oops, let's do this, because this will help, right? So we'll like condense this, right? That should be okay, right? So here we go. This way we can all keep along. And we'll do Lilia's first. Okay, so Lilia's number 1, right? Again, kind of almost half the vote. Second actually came for Sindrion that people felt. And then 3rd was Bertrand, based on where we're at now for who should you level up first. This kind of is going into your tier list portion. Then who's the second hero that you should level? Okay, well, people are saying Veln, right? So again, you're kind of seeing the combo here, how it kind of plays and works into the pairings. So you're seeing Veln as number 2, right? So we'll list that off. And again, we'll keep up with that. So here we go. We'll do Veln. And then tied actually with Sindrion and Frager for who you should level up next. And then let's get to number 3. So 3rd person you should level up. Now they're saying Sindrion. Veln also very close. And then Lilia came in close as well. So, but we'll put Sindrion there. And then we'll see as we get down, does that add up with the pairings, with like the most voted pairings that we ended up seeing. So who's the 4th hero that you should level up? Okay, well, now they're saying Frager, right? So again, you can kind of see the pairings that are forming. Veln, though, came close for 2nd, and then Thea actually was 3rd there at 11% of the vote. So we'll do Frager. Fantastic. Number 5, who's the 5th hero? Now, this is where you're starting to see the pie getting a little bit more widespread, interesting enough. So we have Hosk and Kanara that people were voting here. On this one. Here, go down. Foot. Go with your foot. Go with your foot. There you go. Okay. She just got tangled up. So then we have Haskanara here. And we'll just put that down for both. Right? So we'll just do this. And then if it ends up kind of simplifying on the next one, we'll go from there. So who's the 6th hero that you should level up? Okay, well, they say Hosk pretty overwhelmingly. Then it's Garwood. Kanara was there. Right? So now because of that, I will just say... We'll just put Haas down. We kind of know already where that pairing is going. Who's the 7th? So now we get to Thea, right? And then also we have Bertrand, Emrys, right? So we're getting some Cav mix in, getting some more magic there with Bertrand coming in too as well. But Thea pretty much kind of overwhelming, at least on the percentages there. So we'll do that. And hopefully my daughter survives. Okay, moving on. Who's the 8th hero that they should be leveling up? So we have Thea and Emrys. Those are kind of the 2 big ones, along with Walder and Bakshi kind of getting some. So again, you can kind of see the Cav there, the Walder, right, going in for the epic magic, or mage hero. Right, so we'll do Thea Emrys on this one, just because of the tie. Right? And then we get to the 9th. Who's the 9th one? Right? So now we have Emrys winning this one, Kanara, and then Thea coming in close 2nd. Right? So here, we'll do that. So we'll do Emrys. And then who's the 10th hero that you should be leveling up? And then we have Nico winning this one, with Bakshi and Goresh then coming in, right? Okay, so this is where you're kind of at. And now if we remove some of these, right, we could remove Hosk, and then it would just be Kanara, and we could remove Thea, and it'd be Emrys, and then it would be Nico, right? So you're kind of seeing... My daughter's so interesting. You're kind of seeing, you know, where to look. I mean, I guess it kind of almost is a top 9 based on the voting. Okay, now let's talk about this. Select your 5 best pairings, right? So at the moment, what are the pairings that you're running, right? And this kind of goes into our top 5 for what we're going to see. So let's see. Number 1 actually is tied. Wow. So we have Lily of Veln on the Mage side. We have Sindri and Freygar on the Archer side. I don't think that's anything out of the norm. And then we have, at 11 votes, Goresh Skogul. That's kind of more of a newer pair. And then we have, again, let's see here. Who do we have next? We have Bertrand Thea. Actually came in at 9. And then tied for 7 votes apiece. Actually, it's a 3-way tie. We have Walder Veln. Even though we have Lily of Veln here. And then we have Hosk Kanara. So that's basically just another Archer physical DPS pair. And then at 7 we have Bakshi Emrys. Right, so your top 5 in this case would be your Lily of Veln, Sindri and Freygar, Goresh Skogul, Bertrand Thea, and then because Veln's already being used here, it would either be Hosk Kanara or Bakshi Emrys, right, if you're kind of going to a top 5, top 6 pairing. Now bear in mind, not all of the pairings are here, you know, especially for well, I guess I should just say, right, because again, this is one of those things I wanted to add in, like, so if anyone wanted to add in like an other as an example, then they could add those in. So you see these ones here, right, basically below the Bertrand Veln, you have these ones that at the bottom are kind of the ones that other people, oh, I'm sorry, this one here from Bertrand Veln downwards, these are where we had an other option, so people could select if they wanted to add in something else on their own. Now, I did ask people to try and keep the same format, because if you keep the same format, you could see clearly some people didn't, but some people did. And if other people had mentioned that, right, then that also would have been added into as well. So again, we'll add more in as we keep doing these and as we start getting these more refined, right, for those. Now, I want to talk about this, right, because this is like the explanation, but we'll get to that in a moment. We'll kind of do that. We'll do this one last. I want to do this one, right? What is the best Mage pair? So we asked kind of what's the best pair in each group, and you can see pretty overwhelmingly Lily of Veln here for this one. For best Archer pair, we have Sindri and Freygar. For best Flying pair, Bertrand Thea. For best Cav pair, Bakshi Emrys. Some people said Ferandril Emrys too as well, and then we had Emrys Bakshi and Emrys Ferandril coming in close there. Best Infantry pair, Goresh Skogul at the moment, Madeline Garwood coming in second, Madeline Skogul coming in about third there. Okay, and then let's read through some explanations, right? So, can you explain why you chose those 5 pairs? And again, obviously here we're kind of looking for a little bit more of a lengthy response. I think that's more important when it comes to people being able to learn from those. So we'll read through some, and then again, I'll leave some of those open for when we do finish up, and then we end up making all the analytics public. So we have Sindri and Freygar for Behemoths and most DPS on field, Lilia Thea for most DPS Mage, Walder Veln for second best Mage, Hoskanar for counter attack Archers, Goresh Skogul, or Skogul Goresh is broken infantry. I'm a Mage infantry main, so these are always my main pairs in terms of Archers. Kanara Haas performs the best open field for me, so I always do those as well. Looking forward to how Archers perform in ST1. Then we get placed on bonus this season tells you Haas stay as primary, so I can avoid being targeted as much. So here's a lengthy one. First, Garwood Madeline is the most tanky you can have actually in game, and if you're not a whale tank, must be focused on being defensive more than offensive. Kanar and Freygar is what can deal the best damage as marksman from the different pairings I tested. Bakshi Emrys, there are since S1 and in gold chests, so we get way more easy. Also way more easy to get up. And to be honest, one of the best PvP cav on ground. Bertrand Thea is now obviously the best pairing for flying mages, knowing the power of Bertrand's skills and the massive boost that Thea can give. And finally, Lily of Veln is the best mage pairing if Thea is already used on flying. Strong range presence, important in big fights, and infantry march to shield range when leveling for XP and PvE. Cavalry has no value in PvP, so don't work on them till PvP march is maxed. Interesting. Okay, then we'll read one more for the last one here. Goresh Skogul for infantry and tank talent trees on Goresh, and maximum counterattack damage overall. Bakshi Emrys for maximum rage skill spam cav. Kanara Hosk for maximum counterattack damage. Short range archer Sindri and Freygar for max single target damage archers. Good with seasonal talent that increases range. Lily of Veln for maximum rage skill damage and utility. Bertrand is viable alternative to Veln if you don't need him for flying Celestial March. In my opinion, as someone free to play, all I did was get Lily to 5111, no season pass, monthly days. They're good DPS and sustainable survivability when you understand where you stand on the battlefield in most cases. I usually use Sin, Frag, Lil Van, Nico Kanara. Okay, nice. So yeah, you can see right about half more answers that we have. And then when we get a little bit lower here, you can see we kind of start getting into the artifact portion. And then below that is the war pet portion. So again, I love doing these mostly because I love hearing from the community, from people that are on the ground and fighting. And these are players that I'd like to believe have a great insight because they either do a lot of testing or they just fight a lot. So being able to kind of tune and refine marches, loadouts, is always going to be something that players I would assume are going to be privy to. And so, like I said, I'm hoping to keep refining this too as well going forward, but I think this is a great start, and I really love the answers. Thank you guys so much for those that did take time to respond. And yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really happy with how this turned out. The only thing I wish that we could do, that I wish this form had an option to do, which is where you could you could do your own tier list, right? So I could give all the names and then you could just rank them. I wish there was some kind of a category or a section that could do that on the form, but there's not. So anyways, with that case, right, we kind of have it doing it the best way that we can, at least given the tools and options that we have available to us. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Again, do you think there's any questions, any adjustments we can make to the form? Again, what do you think about us? What do you think about us eventually working in and just trying to focus on asking the top 200, top 300 players in the game for those of you that have Discord? And of course, if you are someone, I'll say this, if you're someone that's over, right, for the last little thing, if you're someone that's over 90 million power, I think is the threshold that I have it at right now. So if you're at 90 million power over, maybe 80 mil, I may take as well. But I'll just say somewhere between there. If you're over 80 to 90 million power, mostly 90 million, I'll say. But again, I'll take 80 at this point. And you have Discord, right? Maybe I should say 90. So yeah, let's do it. If you're 90 million over and you have Discord, reach out to me. I'd love to get you added into our top player chat that we have for running these questionnaires and other things as well. Because again, I think this is one of the best ways that players can learn is, look at what the data is showing for what people are running. And that's just because for me, sure, would I love to come out with my own tier list and hero rankings and pairings, etc. Sure, maybe if I was doing a lot more fighting and my account was in a point where I was able to do a lot more testing, educate myself, do a lot more research, and then come out with something. But I love doing these types of things because it really kind of shows us where the meta's at, and also how it can shift from month to month, and or even when new pairings come out, right? When new heroes are introduced. So yeah, that's gonna do it for me. As always, until next time, I'll catch you guys later.